listening to the Dissecting Discovery podcast with your Fountain of Thought hosts Sunny Rain and Dennis Fountain. Resistance is futile.
This podcast may contain Star Trek Discovery spoilers, talk of Pon farr, and interspecies relations. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Dissecting Discovery Podcast, brought to you by the Fountain of Thought folks, broadcasting from the Erickson Memorial Studios. This is the podcast where we talk about nothing but Star Trek Discovery. Leave us a voicemail on our listener line at 413-612-8037. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at TalkFOT, or visit our website at fountainofthought.com. All right, episode 5 this week is Choose Your Pain. Sonny, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give it?
I'm giving it an 8 as usual. It's very much interesting, but to earn a 10, you're going to have to do something that really blows my mind.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 as well. It's okay. I'm with you.
I'll continue watching.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, so this episode finds the Starship Discovery zipping around the universe, blowing up Klingons left and right via the spore drive because they can zip in and zip out, turning the tide against the war in favor of Starfleet. Now, the one thing that does come to mind in the Admiral is that, hey, you guys are using this spore drive a lot. Maybe you should settle back and not use it. You are technically not a warship. You're a science vessel, and you should be exploring this drive, making it available for the rest of the fleet, not going around winning this war. Lorca takes offense to this and apparently has no respect for the Admiral and says, basically, no, we're going to go do it. And she says, oh, no, you're not allowed to do this unless you have a direct order from Starfleet. We want to preserve this spore drive. Go ahead and do the research. Make this available for the rest of the fleet. So now we get a little more in-depth of Lorca's character, where he seems to be, like you say...
Go back to the actor, okay? This is what makes me have this feeling about his character. They chose him because he's good at playing these characters that go against authority, like in the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
About the Revolutionary War. And he had no problem killing children and doing all these horrible things that weren't sanctioned by the King of England. But he just did what he wanted to do because that's what he felt he needs to do. And he has that look. He can put that look on his face, that blank look that you just don't know what to expect from him. I think he's a rogue. I think he's just going to do his whatever agenda he has. And as far as...
Hell be damned, let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, and you know, and who knows down the road if they don't turn out to be a rebel ship that's not even in Starfleet. That could possibly happen.
That's a good,
And, you know, and that's intriguing because that could explain a lot of what they're doing right now to upset the Star Trek universe. To all of a sudden, this ship is just, you know, bye-bye.
Could be, yeah.
And we don't know. But
what's that they say?
It makes it interesting.
Yeah, power corrupts. Absolute power absolutely corrupts. So that spore drive is a pretty powerful piece of technology.
And it's something we've never heard of before.
Right.
So it's got to be something that's going to disappear before Kirk's time.
Right. I'm still going with the Section 31. That's the Black Ops. That's where I'm still heading.
Well, I believe that as well, but it's also a possibility that you know, they're going to find out that the spore drive does something radically wrong to people or something, and they're going to have to destroy it or get rid of it. Who knows? Who knows? Right. This show makes you watch it every week, just like you watch any other episodic television show, to unveil a few more secrets.
Right. A little bit here, a little bit there.
Then you crave a little more next week, and a little more next week. So it's fun. It's fun so far.
All right.
I'm enjoying it.
So Lorca, they don't exactly explain it, but he's coming back to Discovery on a shuttle, and lo and behold, the Klingons zip in, and they tractor beam him, and now he's captured. And he's in a prison cell, and they find there's at least 3 other prisoners in this cell. And Klingon walks in, and he says, "Choose your pain." And that's the first thing that happens, and they all kind of look around, and we find there's a character there, and he points to this other guy, and the Klingons come in, and they beat the crap out of this guy. Well, it turns out that the other character in there is Harry Mudd. Harcourt Fenton Mudd.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. So do you think he's going to get the little twirly mustache? Is that coming? He's got a full beard in this episode. But
in my opinion, No, because if they've changed the Klingon as much as they have,
you don't think
they're going to give him? They're going to give him the modern twist, and they're going to keep it very serious. They're not going to do that the little campy humor part of it.
Okay, all right. So Harry Mudd's there. There is another prisoner, like I said, who just got the crap beat out of him. Lorca's talking to Harry Mudd, finding out what's going on, and trying to get the lay of the land. Basically, we find out that Laurel, which, again, this is confusing because last we know she was back on Klingon with her boyfriend teaching him the ropes, but now she's flying around this. I don't know. It's been a month, so there is. It just wasn't explained very well. I mean, there's a month passes.
You got to remember, it's a woman's decision to change her mind, and now we're dealing with a Klingon woman.
Klingon woman, yeah.
So she could have said that, and she was going to do that, and then all of a sudden she said, here's the bird. See you later.
Yeah. They're trying to find out the secrets behind how Discovery keeps doing this, how they keep zipping along. So she's not sure that there's a spore drive. She's not sure what is happening, but she knows something is happening. So they're being interrogated and trying to find out. So they're capturing Starfleet officers, and I think Harry Mudd just seems to be caught up in this whole thing.
He was at the wrong place at the right time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they go through this little torture scene, and then he's back in the cell. And then it turns out there's another Starfleet officer in there that they didn't see originally, and that's the character is Ash Tyler. Ash is in there, and he seems very willing to help the captain get out of this situation. Meanwhile, back on Discovery, they've realized, hey, we've lost our captain. We need to find him. So the first officer is, very intrigued about, doing a good job. He enlists help of the computer, which I thought was a little interesting to find out whether he thinks he's a good first officer or not. And again, I said this before, I like the interaction between the computer. It's more sentient than past computers.
It's given more of a future to our computer age.
Yeah.
When we were watching in the 60s, there was no computers, so computers were just an invented thing.
Yeah.
But now you've got to make them even more intriguing for the future. Because this is where we're heading. Because we are heading for the point where it's going to be even more interactive.
Just look at our phones and how we can talk to them.
Exactly. I said more. We're going to get even more advanced, so they have to turn up the twist on that.
Right. What's happening now in the science lab is Burnham is more concerned than ever that they're hurting the Ripper, that there's something going on, that it's just not right. And so they think they need to devise a new way of doing this. So they're trying to do this, and in the meantime, they're having a discussion with the first officer, who is saying that we need to get our captain, and we're going to use the spore drive. And Burnham is fighting back, saying, "No, we're not. Yes, we are. No, we're not." It turns out that the acting captain, which I don't know, I kind of didn't like that they called him acting captain. I mean, I suppose technically he is, but they've never used that terminology in any of Star Trek. I mean,
yeah, but again, we've gone. This is happening before Kirk's time, and if you go to the U.S. Navy today, if a captain gets lost or something, then the commanding officer, or the first officer, or the number one, whatever you want to call him, he gets promoted to captain, but as acting captain.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I don't know why you're saying that, because they make.
Yeah, but they never
they made Riker acting captain
when he got the Borg. When
the Borg captured Picard, he was granted the acting captain.
Right.
Well, that's normal Navy terms.
Yeah, I know it's normal, but it never got, with the exception of the Best of Both Worlds with the Borg, when they really did that. But he was gone. I mean, he's, as Worf says, he is a Borg.
Yeah, well, maybe it's just because people are in the Hollywood industry are looking at people saying, well, they're not going to understand naval ranks and stuff, so let's just make it easier to understand. Yeah. So you're the acting captain. If you say the first officer, and some, if you have no familiarity to the military, that can get confusing.
Yeah.
Because if you know nothing about the military, if I say you're a lieutenant or you're a commander or you're a warrant officer or you're this, if you don't understand or look into that and read about it, you're not going to know. So
I think we've seen enough war movies and science fiction movies over
we're
the years.
We're geeks of the Gen X generation. Yeah. We're talking about this is being projected to a brand new audience to try to carry on the flag. For the Star Trek franchise. So
right. I'm nitpicking. So
I know you're nitpicking.
Yeah. All right. It turns out that he gives an order to Stamets and says, "You're going to do it. Will you obey my order?" And he says, "Yes, I will." And then off they go. So then we go back to Lorca on the Klingon vessel, and he's having a little more in-depth conversation. And it turns out that Harry Mudd has kind of been a little bit of an informer. He has a pet that's been microchipped and is listening in on the conversations and giving it to Laurel. So this little creature, that was kind of funny, ends up throwing the freaking thing against the wall. And Harry Mudd's all upset. His little pet's being hurt. But again, goes to the character.
The little pet being hurt, and you think that's funny.
No, but what I'm saying is the way the interaction was funny. But again, it goes to Lorca's character. Again, I'm thinking he's more evil than he is good.
That's what I think.
And then we find this big conversation. The big reveal of this scene is he's in a conversation with Ash, and he tells him that, hey, listen, when I was in the battle at the Binary Stars, I killed my entire crew. It doesn't get any worse than that. I mean, he survived, but yet he killed his crew. Now, he doesn't want him taken captive by the Klingons because they're going to eat him. So I get why you don't want to be captain. And we've seen in countless Star Trek movies and TV shows that, collision course or, self-destruct, and they're going to blow up. They'll sacrifice themselves to save others. But they do it together. They all do it together. The captain shouldn't be surviving this.
Okay, and so Lorca is embracing this, like, okay, you're another rebel that's going to just make decisions the way you want to make decisions, which would basically, in my book, would be chicken crap. He just decided just kill everybody and bail.
Yeah.
When the normal Starfleet regulation or anything, especially if you're dealing with a species that's going to eat you, would be if your ship is immobile and you're done, self-destruct or destroy it somehow,
and
the captain goes down with the ship.
Exactly, the captain goes down with the ship.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, he obviously had some guilt about leaving his crew behind to be, the next holiday meal for the Klingon Empire.
He did,
so
yeah.
He decided, okay, I'll kill all of you, but I'm too chicken crap to do it myself.
Oh, I'm too important? I don't know.
I'm too important, or I've got to deliver a message to Starfleet. We yet to see where this is going, but it looks like two rebels bonding.
Yeah, that could be. That's a good analogy. It could be, yeah. Now, going to try to escape, and a Klingon comes in, and he says, choose your pain. And they all point.
That was stupid.
I know. They all point at Ash, and Harry Mudd is, thank you. And the Klingons start to beat up on Ash, and then all of a sudden now they turn on the Klingons, and they manage to overpower the Klingons and escape. And so they're heading for the shuttle bay. A little fight ensues, gunfire ensues, and Laurel gets, zapped along the face. So now she's going to have some scar for future episodes, I'm assuming. They didn't show it, but she got a phaser to the face, so I'm assuming it can't look all that pretty. But probably for Klingons, it probably is a sign of...
That's always been a sign of... Battle scars have always been a sign of glory.
Yeah, so that'll probably help her career a lot.
This is a good day to die.
Yes. Now we go back to the Discovery, and they're using the spore drive, and they're zipping along, zoom, zoom, and they find the captain. They get a lock on him, and again, some more little minor battle things. A couple of good space scenes. We see some space battles there. That's always interesting. Flying around in this, a Klingon shuttle that we've never seen before. So that's a little bit interesting. I like it.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. We get a little bit more bridge crew interaction, which I really like. They're giving us more tidbits that every episode goes along. They've had some talking lines at least now. So they're not just, standing there like robots. We actually are hearing them. And I still think that person's a robot, that whoever that blue person is. I think they're a robot.
And I like the second officer there that was sitting on his egg to hatch a child. I'm just kidding you.
I want to talk Orville. I'm going to go to Orville for one quick second. You know what I'm finding hard about watching Orville?
Yeah.
Is Seth MacFarlane, his droopy eye. It's starting to annoy me.
I haven't noticed it.
Oh, my God. Watch it next time. It's distracting me. I don't know why this droopy eye is distracting me. But anyways, back to Star Trek. So now we see they're all on board the Enterprise. The Enterprise. They're all on board the I know, I can't help it. They're all on board the Discovery, and we go down.
We all live in a yellow submarine.
A yellow submarine.
A yellow submarine.
They go back to the science section, and we find that Stamets has somehow managed to hook up the device spore drive to him. So obviously he's taken the injection of the DNA. We find it lying next to him, and he's, writhing in pain on the floor. We see some blood coming from him, but he doesn't look too worse for the wear. He ends up laughing. So we think he's going to be okay at this point. We think it's going to be all right. So now,
till they find out that that's what transfers you into a Ripper.
Maybe that's a possibility. So we find that, you can successfully introduce this DNA into another species, which they were trying to find all along. They're looking for some sentient being so they can be controlled. So now we think that it can be in humans, and humans can control it. So that's a big step forward for this. So now it ends with Stamets and the Doctor are brushing their teeth. And I thought this was very interesting because they're using sonic toothbrushes. There's a sonic shower, and now they have sonic toothbrushes. I thought that scene was kind of interesting. But the very end of it, he says, okay, honey, good night. And the Doctor leaves, and then he leaves, but there's still a reflection in the mirror. So what do we think's happening there?
I missed that.
How did you miss that?
I watched it late at night. I might have dozed off a little bit, but I don't remember seeing that.
Now I'm wondering what's going on. Now, this spore drive thing can go anywhere, any place. I'm wondering if there's, a mirror universe going on here.
A dual dimension. In
a Mirror Darkly. When mirrors come to play into Star Trek, my little pointy ears perk up and I start to go, So something is definitely happening with the character of Stamets, and it's a direct correlation to, being hooked up to the spore drive. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay, before I forget, I wanted to ask this because I haven't noticed it yet, but you have just this quality of critiquing when you're watching a show, not just what's going on, but with everything you see. Yeah. Have we seen any Klingon blood yet?
I don't think so.
Because I'm waiting to see, because they made such a point in Undiscovered Country to make it look pink, like Pepto-Bismol.
Well, you know why that all came about, don't you?
No.
Okay. When it was originally red, they filmed it red. And when they went for the rating system by the Motion Picture Association of America...
Oh, okay. So this was an aftermarket
They wanted
decision.
to rate it R. They wanted to give it an R rating.
Because it was too bloody.
Yeah. And so they doctored it by making it pink, and then the motion picture said, oh, okay, PG-13, whatever it was. Yeah.
Because it makes a difference, right?
I know, just changing the color makes a difference, right? But
so if some kid who's sitting in the theater colorblind,
yeah,
he's going to notice this, right?
Yeah. That was one of the last things that kind of fudged Star Trek a little bit, but they had to do
that was so dumb.
That's why they did it, because the scenes were all done. It was all filmed. Everything was all done, and it was just for review for their rating.
Well, then why didn't they put out a new version?
Because they wouldn't have
on DVD, a special edition DVD showing the original footage.
Well, then you'd have to change it. You'd have to change the storyline all over again. It was just too much. Would have cost too much money. That's the bottom line. Money's always the bottom line. Would have cost too much money.
Why don't they call up Alex Rodriguez? He's got plenty of money.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's on Shark Tank now. Yeah. So.
Hope he gets eaten by the shark.
So, I don't know. That episode seemed to go a little quick for me. The past episodes have been, I've been okay with time wise. I always hate it when an episode, it'll look and you go, oh my God. And Star Trek was always known for this, where you're going, oh my God, it's 38 minutes in. There's only 3 minutes left to the show. How are they going to solve this? And then in the last 3 minutes, it's solved. I've always hated that about Star Trek. This show didn't do it. It hasn't been doing that.
And I like that too, because not to get off Star Trek, but the formula you were just saying is the same thing that used to go on, or it still goes on in these Law and Order shows.
Yeah.
They drag it, and also you look at the clock and it's 5 minutes left, and then they just bam, they just hit you with this stupid ending. It's like, that's the only part of those shows that I hate. Yeah. It's like, no, don't do that.
It's poor writing. Yeah. But this episode it seemed quick to me. I mean, it was the same time. I looked at the time, trust me. It was the same time. So I don't know if that means it was a really good episode, but it just seemed that
it caught your attention.
Yeah, better. It was like over and done. I was like, wait, that's it? There's nothing else? It was good. I liked it. It was a good episode. Again, it opened up all of these things. Lorca, is he good? Is he bad? Where's he going with this? We learned a little bit more about the bridge crew. Definitely learned a little bit more about the first officer. Not so much a Michael Burnham episode. She wasn't at the forefront of this episode. I like it. I like everything about the show. The special effects are awesome. Music is good.
How are the ratings doing?
Well, they don't have ratings per se
because of
they don't do
all
ratings.
Access?
Yeah, it's all access.
Okay,
but it's still
how many? Let me ask you this: how many shows that they signed on for? 11?
No, they've done 15. It's a 15 episode
series.
Season, yeah. And then I don't know how many more but the first season is 15 episodes.
And while these are airing, are they still filming now for the second season?
I don't know if they started filming for this. I don't. Think
that's
so.
what I'm saying, because that's the danger, and the reason why I've told you this in the past. I never watch television shows from season 1 on television because
you don't know if there's going to be a season 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not on Fox, so we might have.
I get that, but I like when a television show comes out, and if I see it works for 2-3 seasons, then I'll make the investment and go and buy the DVDs when they come out on sale, and I'll watch them that way.
You need to stop buying DVDs.
I know, but I can't get that new technology working. Everything in my house is all screwed up. I don't even have remotes that are working right now.
Oh, let's not go there.
Yeah.
We don't need another pet peeve.
Why don't you play it? Sonny! Dennis, this is Sonny, and I can't get my remote on.
Oh. No, I think this is going to have staying power. I think you're around for more episodes.
You're gonna educate me and do this.
Educate you?
Educate me because I want to sell.
I know you should sell them all. You got a good collection of stuff.
I want to get rid of them because I don't need this. If I can upload this where yours goes to the cloud or whatever it is that you call it a storage bin, I want to do the same thing because I don't need this crap anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to get in my lazy bed and just turn the TV on with a remote and just go click, 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 and here's what I'm going to watch.
Well, it's like the old days, and this will tie into Star Trek. That when I had VHS, I had the CBS Columbia House edition, and I had the original Star Trek and the original Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I paid through the nose for those.
We both did.
Oh my God! But I managed to get those off on eBay for I don't know,
me too,
$300-400. Sell those suckers real quick.
I recouped all that. As soon as you brought DVD into the picture, and I never forget this. You had the Westover Shoe Repair, and you were talking about DVDs, and that's going to be the future of this, and blah 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 blah. And I finally said, okay, I'm going to go buy one. So I bought one, and it was the first DVD I bought was what?
MASH?
No, come on, you know this.
I do know this.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Wild Wild West.
Oh yeah.
It was the first DVD I bought, and after that, I started selling my VHS tapes on eBay left and right just to get rid of them.
You remember the first VHS you bought?
Ooh, yeah, Battlestar Galactica.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine was Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
And how much did you pay for yours?
I think I paid $200.
Holy crap!
I think it was I
paid like I don't know, $49.
So expensive back then. Everything was so overpriced. It was ridiculous.
Not to get off subject, but just a quick thing.
Yeah.
It was funny because when I was growing up and I was 12 years old, 13, my cousin had a sister that had it in somewhere and got a bootleg version of Star Wars. And not a bootleg version, with a video camera. Actually.
Yeah, the real,
Yeah, and that was the most amazing thing I'd ever saw. I was like, holy crap, we can sit and watch it on the TV. This is wild.
That was amazing. Yeah, it was.
To get a hold of something like that back then, I was like, wow.
Yeah. We digress. So, yeah, I think Discovery's doing well. It's still their number 1 rated show because it gets more watches than any other show. I guess the key thing is how many new subscribers are they getting because of it. I knew that the subscriptions were up. I don't know if they've still gone up. I haven't looked at any numbers or if they've even released any numbers.
But that's the problem with episodic television. And I've said this before in the past. When you're doing a show like this, you just can't just tune in on week 8 and go, what's going on?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, though. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. People are used to viewing this way. They know how to, maybe not you, But listen.
I'll give you an example. All of a sudden on a Saturday afternoon, I'm bored and I'm flicking through the channels and it says Walking Dead Marathon. So you go there and you click on an episode. I have no idea what season it's from, anything else.
Right.
And I'm watching it going.
And you're lost.
Yeah. I have no idea what's going on, where this plot line was. I don't remember.
Right.
So that is an issue that holds some of these shows back. If you don't captivate your audience really quick, then it's not going to work.
Right.
However, this is where the networks have to learn a lesson. You have to let the first season go for people old school like me that say, all right, fine. I tuned in, saw an episode, looked interesting. I shut it off. I'm going to wait for Black Friday. And when the first season comes out on DVD, then I'll buy it and I'll give it a shot. So you can't cancel right after the first season. Second season, if it's still a failure, yes. But they need to learn. You got to give it 2 seasons and give the people who still like to get the DVDs and watch it at their pace.
We don't even know if it's going to be on DVDs. I'm assuming it would be.
Of course it will be.
I don't know. If it comes out on DVDs, I don't know if it's going to be right away. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. But I'm saying
CBS is doing this very oddly. They're launching this new All Access very
it's an
oddly.
experiment.
Yeah.
So
well, we already know they muffed it up to begin with. They should have shown the first 2 episodes as a mini movie or a prequel movie.
That's
or
what I would have
something.
done. When they decided they were going to put it on regular CBS, it should have been a 2-hour event, a movie, and they should have publicized the crap out of it, and then said at the end of it, and I would have actually put a commercial at the end of it.
Yeah.
If you want to continue watching the series, please subscribe to CBS All Access, and that would have been the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, as we go along in this wonderful world we live in, we keep watching people make bad decisions and wonder, don't you look back at bad decisions and try to make them
better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to do it for this episode. Next episode of Star Trek Discovery is going to be, and I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Lethe, Lethe is the title of the episode. Episode 6 is Lethe. And then with 7 is going to be Magic to Make the Sunset Man Go Mad. Episode 8 is Si Vis Pacem Parabellum. Don't know what the heck that is.
Sounds like an Italian dish.
Yeah. Then episode 9 is Into the Forest I Go.
Robin Hood.
So that's it for this episode. Tune in next week for another Dissecting Discovery episode. Thanks for listening. Leave your opinion on our listener line as always at 413-612-8037. And don't forget about all that social media, Twitter, Facebook, and our website, fountainofthought.com. That's going to do it for us. And hey, thanks for listening.
On vessel decloaking directly ahead, sir.